Hi, welcome to the You Can Do It show. I'm your host, Pascal Rehm, and here today with us we have Jared Masserant. He is a wedding videographer. So today we're going to start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Well, Pascal just introduced me. My name is Jared Masserant. I'm 22 years old, and basically, I started my own wedding and event videography business a couple of years ago. We do not, like I said, we not only do weddings, we do also events, music videos. We also specialize in. We also have a photo booth, so we do that a lot. But yeah, basically, just keeping busy with doing weddings and all that good stuff. So.
All right, so because you have such an interesting job, my main first question is going to be, what do you like about your job the most?
So my job, obviously being a business owner is definitely one of the perks of my job. So I can kind of work whenever I want, do editing whenever I want. One of my favorite things or favorite parts of the jobs is definitely filming weddings, and because when you're filming a wedding, you're primarily working with people who are very happy because obviously they're getting married or their family members getting married. So it's definitely cool to work with a lot of the happier people. Sometimes you do get like the bridezillas, but not as often as you would think. So it's definitely cool to work with happy people. And then like I said, kind of working on my own schedule. So when I'm editing, I work at my house. So picking my own hours, working in my pajamas, anything like that, sleeping in. So kind of cool.
You're lucky. I can't work in my pajamas.
No.
That just looked weird on camera. So when did you first decide to be a wedding videographer?
So it actually kind of all started when I was in high school. No one ever really dreams of being a wedding videographer.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things that just happens. So I worked for my neighbor who was a photographer, and basically, actually, I started doing yard work for her, and she was like, "Hey, do you do any camera work, or do you want to pick up a camera and do some weddings with me?" So I was like, "Sure, why not? I mean, might as well start learning and do some stuff." And in high school, I actually did a lot of like the video clubs or filming, just filming events and basketball games and all that kind of stuff. And basically, so following high school, I always wanted to be an architect, to be honest. So even though I'm more of the creative side. So when I finally started getting into the photography with my neighbor, I started to realize, yeah, I definitely want to do more filming, and wedding just kind of tended to be my spot. So I knew how the wedding day worked, and I don't know, that's just kind of how I got into it, I guess. So.
All right. So I can tell you do like your job. Sounds like a very
Definitely.
interesting one. I would love to try it out, actually.
Definitely an adventure, to say the least.
Uh,
So.
For such an, for lack of a better word, unusual job, is there any possibility you actually have a role model for this job?
Well, I mean, definitely. So, not necessarily a role model in my career. I definitely look up to a lot of people in the wedding film industry because I have gone to conferences where they basically teach you how to take different approaches to the wedding day. So, the way you film it, we do a more cinematic style rather than like a traditional. So, there are definitely people that I look up to in regards to like how they run the business, how successful they are. But not so much anyone specific. I definitely look up to my parents. Throughout my life, they've always taught me to be, hardworking and always strive to. As long as you work hard, you can do anything that you want. So, definitely my parents, always push me to, be the best that I can. So.
As all parents should.
As all parents should, and most do. So, but.
Yeah. So you said you have conferences for wedding videographing. If that's probably
Yep.
not a word.
That's a word.
What are
I
those
use
like?
So a conference. So basically, I'm actually going one next winter. My first one was this past winter, and basically there's different wedding videographers around the United States. Some I think have even come from different countries, and basically, so I think this past event there was about 200 wedding videographers.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot, and that's probably not even, I mean, that's not obviously every wedding videographer, but there's definitely a lot that have come. And basically, yeah, we all kind of gather, and they have like basically different, it's like a 4-day conference. So you drive there, you check in, and then when you get there, you can sign up for different um, classes or seminars. And then they have like the big conferences where um, they have like main talks where that will apply to everyone, but they also have like business courses as well as like filming and just a lot of different things that you can learn from. And it's not even all about like learning about, you know, wedding videography, because there's really not much. I mean, there's a lot to it, but there's not much to it. You can't do too much different. But a lot of it's networking. So getting to know people, other wedding videographers, and connecting with them. I actually connected with one who's in Cleveland, and I have a Cleveland wedding this fall. So we're actually working together that wedding because she let me hire her, or I hired her for the wedding. So it's really cool just to meet new people and, you know, do a lot of new things there. So
Good. Yeah. So you said in Cleveland?
yep.
So you do travel for this quite
Yep.
often, I'm guessing?
I'm wanting to. Cleveland will be the farthest I've been. I've been to, well, I'm located in Monroe, Michigan, so southeast Michigan. I have traveled to like Frankenmuth. I have gotten calls for like Ionia, which is like right up here, so a little bit further. And I'm hoping to do more destination weddings where we can travel, you know, to different states, or maybe one day to another country. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I hope you
So,
get to travel because
yeah.
it seems like that'd be a lot of fun. Um, did you ever have a backup plan? Because obviously this is a job you're not quite sure it would succeed.
Definitely, definitely. So being a business owner, there's definitely that risk of, you know, not knowing where
Yeah.
your business is going to go, whether it's going to be a huge success or a flop. And like I told you, I always wanted to be an architect. So that's kind of pushed on the back burner. I probably won't end up doing that ever. But as a backup plan, I think I mean right now obviously I'm in the beginning stages of my business, so I'm just trying to, you know, make it a success, do as much as I can to keep growing and keep making it bigger and bigger. And I think my backup plan necessarily would probably be, my dad owns a business as well, so I probably, you know, work for him for a couple, I don't know, months or a year until I can find something else, or I can find a more creative job in the film industry, or even contact other photographers, videographers in the area and see if they're hiring additional second shooters or editors for weddings and stuff like that. So not necessarily a huge backup plan, but we'll see where it goes, I guess.
Still a backup plan, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your biggest supporter?
My biggest supporter would probably have, well, obviously my parents. They've always supported me through my business, but definitely my sister, Kara. She has pretty much always been there from the beginning. She actually was the one who also kind of put it in my mind, you could do this for a business, and you should, you know, go for it. You might as well try. So Kara, she is also my business partner. She runs the photo booth part of our business. And basically, she's always there to just say, you know, let's do this. Or sometimes, obviously, we have a lot of disagreements.
Yeah.
But I am her boss. But no. So, but she definitely has supported me and said, you know, if you keep doing this, and you know, she is always there to help me come up with a game plan, whether it's, you know, moving forward through the video, or you know, asking her to, can you watch this and critique it and just tell me what you think, or stuff like that. So she's definitely been there from the beginning, so thank you,
Good.
Kara.
Always good to have people that are there for you. Makes things a lot
Definitely.
easier. So what does your typical day look like as a wedding videographer, and what do you do in your free time?
So for my business, or for being a wedding videographer, I would say there's probably 2 typical days. So there's the typical editing day and the typical shooting day. So the editing day is kind of one of those, you know, you just wake up whenever you want, sleep in a little bit, and then basically obviously get ready and get right to work. So a lot of times I would do check my emails, reply to any client emails, because being a wedding videographer, shooting and editing is definitely obviously a huge part of it, but the business side is just as important or even more important. So, taking care of clients, taking calls, emailing, that's probably one of the definitely the main things. But then, yeah, just editing throughout the day. I try to edit for at least so many hours in the day. Throughout the day, I do take breaks because being a creative, you can't sit and edit for so long. Your mind goes crazy.
Yeah, don't want to burn out.
Exactly, don't want to burn out either. So, yeah, I do take breaks every now and then. Go for a run, exercise, try to do as much exercise as possible, do stuff like that. And then for a wedding day or any sort of filming, obviously you prepare the couple days before, get cameras ready, batteries, cards, and basically, so for a wedding, it's you got to get up early, get all your stuff ready, and head to bride prep, groom prep. What else do we do? We do obviously the ceremony, creative session, to the reception. So it's a fun-filled, crazy day of shooting and running around, and I don't know, it's definitely crazy to say the least. So
Yeah, so what about your free time? I'm guessing you do have free time.
free time. So in my free time, which is very minimal, no, I always try to make free time. So obviously, like I said, to exercise, do all that good stuff. One thing we've actually started recently in Monroe, it's swing dancing. Me and my cousin have always been really into the swing dancing. I do a lot of even musicals. I've done musicals, but swing dancing is kind of where we're headed to now. We've started an event, a public event, so anyone can come, and basically it's just we actually have a lesson and we teach swing dancing. People come out and what swing dancing is, if you don't know, it's like a 1930s, 40s, 50s style dance. It's very upbeat, very fun, and it's I don't even know. Yeah, it's boy-girl partner, so you're dancing with a partner, and yeah, it's just really fun. And like I said, I'm the creative type, so I like the dancing, and I like doing some art type stuff. I don't paint or draw too much anymore, but free time. I spend a lot of time with family. That's a huge
Good.
thing. Family's definitely huge. I have a niece that was born a year ago, so I spend a lot of time with her. A lot of times she's my second editor. She always comes and hangs out with me. So
Yeah, all right. So I guess that's all really for today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. Again, I am your host, Pascal Rehm, and this was our guest, Jared Masserant. Thank you so much for joining us
yes,
today.
thank you for having me.
And remember, audience, you can do it.